What's going on, guys? Vibin' Javin back with another story, and today I'm going to be telling you one of the scariest moments of my life. It may sound dumb, but dude, I literally thought I was getting possessed or I was haunted by demons or something. To understand the story a little more, you're going to have to know what lucid dreaming is. So lucid dreaming is basically when you know you're dreaming, and a lot of times when you're lucid dreaming, you can control what's happening in the dream. And on top of that, these dreams are so lucid, meaning that they feel so real. So basically what happened in my dream was I had the feeling that it was so real. I thought that I was in a dream, but I couldn't control it. So it was basically like I was living the dream with no control over it. It was very interesting. Before we hop into the video, please consider checking out the merch. I worked a long time on this. This is the first drop of many. vibinjavin.store. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So a couple nights before this first stream, I was recording a horror film for my video production class. And in that video we were making, we were playing with a Ouija board. And so in the film, I actually played with the Ouija board by myself, which is 100% against Ouija board rules. But to record that part of the video, I had to play with the Ouija board by myself. And in the film, I got possessed by a demon. And then a couple nights later, that's when the dream hit me. It started out where I was just in a car with some of my friends driving in the city, and we were going over this bridge, and all of a sudden the sun just started going down so fast. It started getting so dark, and my mind was just getting clouded. I completely forgot my friends were there. I started speeding down the road, literally 100 miles an hour, flew off the road, and everything just went black. I got in a major car accident. But then I just blink, I look to my side, my friends are right there. We're walking down a creepy alley. My friends were pretty chilled out. They seemed like nothing happened, so I was just like, all right, and slipped back into conversation. But then the lights flickered. I looked to my side, my friends are gone, and it turns out I'm in a dead end. I turn around and there's just some tall dude in a top hat walking towards me with a creepy look on his face. He pins me to the ground, starts staring at me from above, and then his mouth opens so wide and ooze starts dripping out his face and like crawling down my body. That ooze marked me from my hands to my shoulders. Then the streetlights turn off and everything is black. I'm just walking around in this void of nothingness. I can't see anything, but eventually I saw a light in the distance, so I start to walk towards it. Turns out it's a creepy house, and I had nowhere else to go, so I said, screw it, bro, let's go to this house. As soon as I walk into the house, I hear whispers all around me. There's scurrying in the ceiling, slamming doors, but then all of a sudden everything's quiet and still. It was like the house was saying, welcome to your doom, bro. So I start to explore the house. I walk into this room, and sure enough, there's one of my friends that I was walking with earlier. I was so pumped to see him because this was weird. And so I tried talking to him. I'm like, yo, Dan, we gotta get out of here, bro. We gotta dip right now. This place is creepy. And Dan just starts walking into the wall, slamming his head against the wall, and then just goes right through it. And then the door slams, and I'm stuck in this room, and I'm like, what the heck? The wall started going crazy. Like there was whispers, laughs all up in my ears. And so I just sat down. I was like, dude, I'm screwed. So I'm chilling there for like 10-20 minutes. I'm not even kidding. This dream felt like an eternity. Eventually, the door opens and a dog walks in. I'm like, heck yeah, bro, I love dogs. And so I reach my arms out, I'm like, come here, puppy. But then he stops and just stares at me from like 2 feet away and lunges at me and starts attacking me like to death, starts killing me in my dream. I'm literally like bleeding out at this point, just trying to get this dog off me, and then I had no choice but to kill the dog, bro. So then I just curl up in a ball. I'm like crying at this point. I love dogs. This is the most twisted dream ever. Then it gets worse. The whole house just gets silent and it's chilling. My whole body starts tingling, like all the hairs on my body were sticking up, and I could tell something was in the house and it was coming for me. It was like I was being tortured. I was squirming around, my hands over my ears. It felt like my whole body was just being possessed. And that's when I heard the door creak, and I look over there and a man and woman enter. They're super tall and very calm, but not friendly. I look down towards their feet and they're hovering in the air, and they just hover over to me like an inch in front of me, and they just start staring at me from an inch in front of my face. At this point, I was crying, and I wipe my eyes and I'm bleeding out of my eyes. It felt like I was screaming at the top of my lungs, but I was literally just sitting there staring at these creepy people hovering over the ground an inch in front of my face. I felt something in my pocket, so I reach in there and I have a little knife. I pull it out with all of my might and stab it into the heart of the man, but the knife just shattered and fell to the ground. The man and woman just stared at me for like another hour, it felt like, until eventually I woke up in my bed. It was bright outside already, so I walk outside because I needed something bright in my life at this point. And that was the creepiest dream of my life. So I see my neighbors sitting outside, and they're super into talking about dreams and all that, so I head over to them. I sit down with them, start to tell them the dream. I wanted to hear what they thought it was. But as I was telling them the story of the dream, I started to get that weird feeling in my body again, with all the hair on my body sticking up, that mad creepy feeling. I started sweating like crazy, so I went to roll up my sleeves, and then when I looked back up, my neighbors were not sitting down anymore, they were hovering over top of me. Their eyes looked like black holes, their mouths were wide open, dripping that oozing black tar like the dude from the street in the dream. And I look back down at my body where they were pointing, and those evil symbols from the black tar that I got marked by in the dream were all up and down my arms. At that point, I woke back up, and this time I wasn't as convinced. I needed to see some proof. So I went over to the mirror, I had bedhead, I pinched my arm, everything seemed good. It was still the middle of the night, and I just played some music and sat there thinking about what just happened. About a week later, I actually went over to talk to my neighbors again because I wanted to hear what they had to say about this dream. They were really spiritual girls, like they were the type of girls that went to rivers and like did a bunch of meditation and stuff and had crystals and all that. So I was like, if anyone's gonna know what just happened in my dream, it's gonna be them. At this point, I was convinced that the Ouija board gave me that dream. I was like, dude, you never know. It could have been the Ouija board. But they came up with like a deep explanation as to why I had this dream. So this was the summer before I was about to head to college. And their explanation was that I was scared to leave my friends and enter a whole strange new world with new people at college. And they said my fear of going to college was coinciding with the Ouija board to create a crazy dream. Like, I had it in my head that, oh, I played with a Ouija board by myself, so maybe I was possessed. But I was also scared to leave my friends, which happened multiple times in the dream. And so that fear of leaving my friends, the Ouija board, meeting new people at college, formulated this crazy dream where I lose my high school friends, I don't make friends at college, all this stuff. And all I could think while they were telling me this story was, they dissected everything about my dream a little too well, and all I could wonder was, maybe I was still in the dream. Just maybe. Anyways, after they had told me all that stuff about my dream, it kind of made me think that maybe dreams do intersect with reality a little bit. So many people have had stories where they have a dream and then it happens in real life, and it could just be because maybe that thing that was about to happen in real life was on your mind and you had a little premonition of it. It was on your mind when you went to bed, so you thought about it in your dream, it happened in the dream, and it happened in real life shortly after. And a lot of times, like the other day, I was watching these horror movies, and then I had a horror dream that same night, you know? I feel like the stuff that happens in real life manipulates our dreams a lot. I don't know the extent to how dreams affect real life and how real life affects dreams, but there's definitely some connection there. So like I said, I went to college a few months later, and when I was there, I actually took a creative writing course. And I wrote a creative essay on the stream. If any of you are interested in reading it, I'll put that link in the description. It's the Medium link. I had another dream a couple months later, and this one was actually so deep. Not in the way that it connects to real life, but I feel like this second dream could literally be made into a top tier horror movie. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to hear that movie. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, sub if you're new, and don't forget to check out the merch. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.